This is our HIIT class for today. Just one medium to heavy weight for today. We have a pyramid type workout. So we have 30 seconds for each move. We're going to gradually add on. So we got 90 seconds of no break, working out. Go ahead and step those feet out, reaching up high overhead. So full 90 seconds on, 10-second break. Then we're going to repeat that exact same thing 2 more times through. So a total of 3 times. Just a light step out. Go ahead and reach that arm up and long, opposite direction. So just to give you an example, the first one we have is a high plank hold. You can also come down to a tabletop. Then we're going to bring that high plank or tabletop into a half burpee, also known as a catcher's burpee. Then we're going to add on to that burpee and we're going to add 4 mountain climbers, either from a high plank or a tabletop. Go ahead and draw that knee up and over to a side lunge. So 30 seconds for each move. Testing your endurance and your cardio strength. Think about 3 out of the 6 or 7 pyramids that we have will incorporate that weight. Go ahead and take it down to a low, wide squat, feet wider than your hips, toes turned out, arms out to a T. Bend and extend your knees, chest stays lifted. If you're just joining us, no worries, we're just getting started with our warm-up. Just one medium to heavy weight. Today we have a pyramid type structure workout. Hold the bend the knees, reach down, tap towards the opposite inside foot. Straightening your opposite leg. One more time on each side. Gently come on down to a runner's lunge. Release your right knee, untuck your right toes. Pressing forward into your left knee, allowing your right hip to open. Chin and chest stays lifted. Draw your hips back, straighten that right leg, straighten that left leg, and then press it forward. Once more. Draw the hips back, keep that left leg straight. My goodness. Point flex, circle out your left ankle. Hold the left toes flexed, hinge forward. Framing your left leg, bringing your nose towards your knee. Maybe your heart towards your thigh. Gently rise up, switching sides, left knee down, take a big step forward with your right foot, pressing into that right knee. You got it right this time. Opening up that left hip. Gently draw your hips back, and then press it forward 2 more times. Drop back. Press it forward. On the next one, we're going to hold that right leg straight, point flex, maybe circle out that right ankle. Hold the right toes flexed to the ceiling, hinge forward, framing over your right leg. Maybe bringing the crown of your head towards your toes, folding forward. Gently rise up, roll your shoulders back, roll them forward. Grab water at any time if you need it. We're first starting on the floor. So again, that high plank hold. You can also come into a tabletop with your knees under your hips. And a table hold, draw your navel in towards your spine, up the crown of your head, focusing on the core here. Or you can hover those shins. If you want to stay in that tabletop, but you want to add a little more heat to your core, find your position. Here we go. Holding that high plank. Maybe lower those knees down into a tabletop. You can tuck your toes, hovering your shins in that tabletop as well. We're going to add a half burpee. You got 15 seconds here, so we're going to step or hop our feet to the outside of each hand. Rise up, staying low in that squat. Rise back down, bringing your hands to the floor, then stepping your feet back out to that high plank or tabletop. In 3, 2, and 1. Step or hop, half burpee, step or hop, bring it back. If you're stepping those feet, make sure you're alternating. Which foot is stepping forward? Which foot's coming back? Keep it going. High plank or tabletop to that half burpee. You've got 10 seconds here. Keep it going. We're going to add 4 mountain climbers as you hold it into that high plank or that tabletop. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Give me those 4 mountain climbers. Step or hop your feet. Half burpee. Bring it back. 4 mountain climbers. Step or hop. Bring it back down. You can also do it from a tabletop. Still drawing that same knee to the same elbow. Step your feet to the outside of your hands. Rock up. Half burpee. Bring it back down. Break coming up. In 5. All right. Gently catch your breath. We're going again. All right, holding that high plank or that tabletop. And 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Holding and breathing, core is engaged. Let's see if I can join from this high plank position. So remember, we've got 30 seconds in each move. We're adding on to add that half burpee here. You've got 10 seconds. Stay with it. So strong. And 2, and 1. Step or hop those feet to the outside of your hands. Rock up. Bring it back down. Step or hop out. Slow it down as much as you need to. We've got 3 rounds of this. Step or hop back. Step or hop forward. 15 seconds down. 15 seconds to go. Then we're going to add on here. So when you're holding in that high plank or tabletop, you're going to give me 4 mountain climbers. That's it. Add those climbers in 3, 2, and 1. Wherever you're at, keep going. When you get to that tabletop or high plank, step or hop those knees towards the same elbow. Tabletop or high plank. Keep it going. 15 seconds. You've got this. Stay with it. Last 2 and 1. All right, catch your breath. We've got 1 more round of this, then we're moving on. Something brand new. All right, think of what position you want to be in: tabletop, bear, or high plank. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Last time. That timer's already begun. Last time doing these 3 moves. Not our last time doing a high plank or tabletop. Hint, hint. But last time doing burpees, I promise. All right. We're eyeing on to that half burpee. In 7. Keep that core engaged. You got it. In 2 and 1. Step or hop your feet to the outside of your hands. Rock up. Bring it back down. Bring it together. Rock up. Lower down. That's it. 10 seconds down. Less than 20 to go. High plank or tabletop to half burpee. Yes, you can. We're going to be on our back next. You've got 5 more seconds here. Keep it going. All right, give me those 4 mountain climbers. Add those in. When you draw your knees down to a tabletop or bear, or you step back to that high plank, add it on here, half burpee. Instead of just holding it into that high plank or tabletop, give me those 4 knee drives. 10 seconds to go. You've got it. Last 3, 2. All right, catch your breath. Ooh. All right, catch your breath here. Yes. Huh? Yeah, so we're doing bicycle crunches. You can also do it standing if you want, bicycle crunches. No worries. There's always plenty of options. All right, so you're very welcome. All right, so standing bicycle crunches or on your back. Option to grab that heavy weight between your palms. We've got 30 seconds of bicycle crunches. Next up, when those 30 seconds finish, we're going to hold one elbow to one opposite knee, and we're going to raise and lower that non-connected leg. If you're standing, give me a elbow to knee connection and then extend that leg back to a back leg extension. You've got 3, 2. All right, hold that elbow to knee, raise and lower that leg, or if you're standing, draw that same knee to elbow and then extend that same knee back. We're going to switch sides here. So whatever connection you have, if it's left elbow to right knee, you're raising and lowering that left leg, or if you're standing, you're drawing that right leg back after you crunch them together. Keep it going. We're switching sides in 3, 2, and 1. Switch the connection. So again, if you're standing and you're drawing that right elbow down to your left knee, you're rising back up and you're kicking that left leg straight back. If you're on your back, right elbow to right knee, that right leg raises and lowers. Keep it going. We're actually going to take out those 10-second breathers in between. I don't think we need them. You got it. We're going right back to those bicycle crunches. Standing on your back in 3, 2, here we go. Bicycle crunches with or without that weight. So remember, for that second move, you're holding that connection, opposite elbow, opposite knee. If you're on your back, the non-connected leg is raising and lowering. If you're standing, that leg that you connected to the opposite elbow is going to release that connection and then kick straight back behind you. Then we're going to switch sides. You've got 3, 2, find that connection, hold it, raise and lower, or kick that same leg back. Keep those shoulders lifted if you're on the floor. You've got this. Lower back in towards the floor. If you're standing, stack those shoulders directly over your hips. Keep it going. Almost there. All right, we're switching in 5. That's 3, 2, and 1. Switch the connection. If you're on the floor, hold that connection. Opposite leg raises and lowers. If you're standing, connect that opposite elbow to knee and then extend that leg straight back as you come back to standing. That's it. Keep it going. You've got this. We've got one more round after this. Less than 10. Right back to bicycle crunches in 3, 2, and 1. Crunch it out. Opposite elbow, opposite knee, whether you're standing or you're on the floor. Give it your all. With or without that weight, you want to make it more challenging. You want to add more heat to the core. Grab that weight. Make it heavy. Set that weight down whenever you need to. In 10, we have that opposite elbow to opposite knee. If you're standing, that connected knee is going to kick straight back. If you're on your back, it's raising and lowering. All right, hold that connection if you're on the floor. Woo. Those abs should be on fire by now. You've got it. Single leg raise and lower if you're on your back. If you're standing, that leg is extending straight back. Keep it going. Abs are engaged here. We're switching sides in 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Raise and lower, or kick it straight back. So we're connecting, and then we're kicking. Connecting, and then kicking. Less than 20 seconds. You got a 10-second breather coming up in 10. That's it. You've got 3, 2, all right. Set that weight down. We have a low plank hold, so we're going to give those wrists a break from our first position, or with your forearms down into a tabletop. So, low plank with your forearms down, or you can be in a dolphin tabletop with your forearms down, with your knees down. Your choice, just holding and breathing here. Forearms down. We're going to add low plank jacks or side taps. If you have your knees down, please just step it out to the side, just like a little fire hydrant. All right, low plank jacks. You can also take out that hop or step it if you're on those knees. Side fire hydrant. Forearms stay down. Give those wrists a little breather. All right. Yes, we're giving those wrists a break. However, we're going to add on here. So we have 2 jacks or 2 side step outs We're gonna press up to our palms one at a time and then come back down to our forearms. All right, here we go. Press it up, bring it back down. Give me 2 jacks or 2 step outs. Press it up, alternating which arm comes up and down first. So you're alternating between a low plank, dolphin bear, to a high plank or tabletop. All right, we're coming back to that hold. Here we go, 30-second hold. So whether you're in that dolphin tabletop, forearms down, knees under your hips, or you can extend those legs straight back, coming into a low plank hold. We're gonna add those side taps or jacks. If your knees are down, please make them side taps, just like a fire hydrant. Working those side glutes. Holding here and breathing. All right, add those side lifts, alternating right to left, left to right. You can tap it out to the side if you're in that low plank as well. If you want to add those jacks and you're in low plank, feel free to do so. Please don't try to add that hop if you're in dolphin tabletop, meaning knees down, forearms down. In 10, we're going to press up to our palms, back down to our forearms. And then we're going to add those 2 jacks or step in, step out. All right, here we go. Bring it up. High plank or tabletop, bring it down. Give me 2 jacks or 2 step outs. Press it up. Bring it down. If you're on those knees, 1 on each side. Press it up, tabletop. Bring it back down. Draw it out. Draw it out. Press up to that tabletop. Bring it back down to that dolphin. We're starting back from the top in 5. All right, holding it wherever you are, low plank or dolphin tabletop. So again, those forearms are down wherever you're at. Your knees can be directly under your hips. You can extend those legs out straight, your choice. Holding and breathing. In 10, we're gonna add those plank jacks or side taps if you're in a low plank jack hold, or if you're in dolphin bear. Here we go. Tap it out or jack it out. Keep it going. More so fire hydrant and that dolphin tabletop if your knees are down. Keep it going. That's it. Keep it going. Here we go. Bring it up to the wrist. Bring it down those forearms. Step or jack it out 2 times. Up to the wrist. Down to the forearms. Step or hop. You got a breather coming up after this. Bring it up to the high plank or tabletop. Bring it back down. Jack it out or step it out. Keep it going. You've got it. Last 3, 2. All right. Bring it back on our back. If you'd rather stay standing, we have a C-sit hold, so you can just come down, reach and squat. Option to use that weight here. You can have your feet lifted like a boat. You can have your legs flat on the floor. You want to round your spine. So if you're standing, you're crunching down, reaching that weight overhead. If you're on your bum in that C-sit, we're going to extend and bend the knees into our chest. Your feet and knees are hip width apart and parallel. If you're standing, you're going to continue with those squats. And as you rise to stand, we're going to set that right leg out from the right hip. All right, extend, draw it in if you're on your back. If you're standing, you're continuing with those squats. Side kick out to the right. We're going to switch to the left side for that third 30 seconds. So just feet and knees hip width apart and parallel. If you're on the floor, if you're standing, you kick it out to the right. We're switching to the left side if you're standing. We're going to draw those knees and feet wider than our hips. Here we go. Bring it in. Draw them narrow. Bring it in. Extend wide. So you're alternating narrow and wide. Oh yes, working the core. Working those outer hips all at once. sit, hold, or standing squat crunch in less than 10. We're starting back again. Woo. Last 3, 2. All right, hold it if you're on the floor. If you're standing, crunch it down. Those quads should already be starting to burn. All right. Holding and breathing. You can always plant your feet down anytime, but keep your waistband of your pants or shorts close to the floor. In 10, if you're on the floor, we're going to zip our legs together, draw your knees and feet together and extend. Draw your knees in. If you're standing, I want you to give me a side leg lift to the left. Here we go. Extend, draw it in. If you're standing, starting to that left side this time. So again, squat, whoop, side lift, outside left. You've got it. We're going to switch to that right side. If you're standing, if you're on the floor, we're going to alternate legs zipped and legs wide. In 2 and 1. Here we go. If you're on the floor, alternate. If you're standing, switch that right leg. Legs zipped. Legs as wide as your mat or wider than your hips. Keep it going. I realize some people may not be using a mat. You've got this. Last 10. We're going for round 3. That's it. Keep it going. You've got 2 and 1. All right, wherever you're at, hold it. If you're on the floor, just holding and breathing. If you're standing, continue to give me those squats. Keep it going, holding and breathing. Squatting if you're standing. We're going to go back to that right leg lift and lower out to the right hip if you're standing. If you're on your bum, let's do a wide in and out. So like an X jack. Draw those feet wider than your hips. Draw them back in. Draw it wide. Draw it back in. So we did hip width. Then we did zipped. Now we're doing wide. Next up, we're going to alternate wide and zipped. If you're standing, you're going to switch that left leg here in just 10 seconds. Keep it going. Just think, you got a breather after this. Keep it going. All right, if you're standing, switch sides. If you're on the floor, alternate. Legs extend out long, zip together like one long line. And then alternate knees into the chest. And then drawing those feet wider than your hips as you come in, just like an X crunch. But you're keeping your hands together. You've got it. Keep it going. Verse 7. That's 3, 2. All right, set that weight off to the side. We'll use it at the very end. We're going to come back to a tabletop or bear if you want to tuck those toes. So holding and breathing, wrists under your shoulders, under your hips. You want to come into that bear. Tuck your toes. Cover your shins. Press the earth away. Keep your gaze down between your thumb and his finger. Do not focus on looking side to side. I promise to tell you what's coming up next. All right, we're going to walk those feet out to a high plank or just a slightly obtuse triangle. Triangle, my goodness. Tabletop and back in. So if your knees are down, you can step it back, focusing on that core. Just a gentle tap back. You can also draw completely back to that high plank. Step it back into that bear. We're going to add shoulder taps here, so you can add them with the tap outs or opposite of the tap outs. All right, here we go. Shoulder taps, left and right. Step it out. Step it in. Shoulder taps, one on each side. Step it out. Step it in. Keep it going. You can keep your knees down. Use your abs here. We're going back to the top at that hold in 5. All right, holding and breathing, tabletop or bear. Wrists are directly under your shoulder, knees directly under your hips. We're going to extend those legs out, so more like a rhombus. I think that's the correct shape. By drawing our feet a little bit further back or coming to a high plank. In 10. So tabletop or bear. Focus here, drawing your navel into your spine. In 2 and 1. Here we go. Step it back. Step it forward. So your knees can be planted. Your knees and shins can be hovering. Your choice. If they're hovering, tuck those toes. If you're in bear, you can step back just a little bit. Back to that rhombus. Or you can bring it out to that high plank, your choice. We're adding shoulder taps in 7. Everyone's core should be on fire now. All right, give me those shoulder taps. Give me them from the starting position, whether it's tabletop or bear. And then after you extend your legs out, give me 2 more shoulder taps, because it's so much fun. If you find that you're losing your balance when you extend your legs, whether it's a rhombus, bear tabletop, or high plank, widen your stance, widen your feet. We're going again in 3, 2. All right, just hold. Bear or tabletop. So again, if you're finding that you're losing balance with your shoulder taps, just to show you, we often keep our feet hip width apart. Same thing as you extend them out long. Widen that stance, that way you have more weight to disperse, and you add in those shoulder taps so you're not rocking side to side or losing balance on your hips. We're going to add those toe taps, extending the legs out to a high plank, or just slightly offsetting that tabletop. This should not feel easy to you. This should feel challenging, whether your knees are on the floor, or you have your shins hovering. 10 more seconds, and we're going to add those shoulder taps. Remember, if you want to make it more challenging, bring those feet closer together. You want to make it less challenging, or if you find that you're rocking too much, bring those feet wider. Shoulder taps, side to side. Bring it in, side to side. Engage your abs here. You've got a breather. We're coming down to a low side plank. So again, giving those wrists a break. Let's start on the left side next. You've got 7. Keep it going. All right, finish up where you're at. Please grab water at any time. So, you can start in a low side plank. You can also release your hip down, engage your abs. Legs are extended out long, so your left hip can be down, pressing your chest up with your left forearm, using those abs to engage everything, or you can hover those hips. Maybe reach your right arm high. We're going to add hip dips. So if your hips are lifted, we're going to dip down. You don't have to touch the floor. We're dipping down. If your hips are lowered, we're just going to lift the hips and then tap down. So you're doing the opposite of where you're holding. All right, so if your hips are down, lift them up. If your hips are up, bring them down. Keep it going. You've got it. Hip lift and lower, depending on if your hips are already raised. You're going to bring them down towards the floor. If your hips are already on the floor, you're going to lift them high towards the ceiling. It does not have to be a huge movement. It can be a tiny movement. All right, we're going to add a top knee drive. You're like, what? All right, so if your hips on the floor, lift, lower, give me that knee drive. If your hips are lifted, dip, lift, knee drive, release, dip, lift, knee drive, release. Same thing if you're on the floor, lift, lower, knee drive, lift, lower, knee drive. Keep it going. Last 5. All right, we're just holding here in that side plank. Now, if your wrists aren't biting, we just did a whole bunch of time on our wrists. You can also come into a side plank with your left hand and left knee down. I was trying to give you some rest on that left wrist. Holding and breathing. Draw your navel into your spine. You can really focus on your core here just by holding. You should feel soreness even if your left hip is down. We're adding those lift and lower or lower and lift right now. Here we go. Lift and lower or dip and lift. Keep it going. Whew. You've got this. It's a pyramid structure, so we're adding on. Keep it going. We're going to add that knee drop here in just a moment. Here we go. Hip lift or lower to a knee drive. If you're in that side plank, hip dip, lift, knee drive, dip, lift, knee drive. Keep it going. Don't mind my guard dogs. You've got it. Hip lift and lower. Add in that top knee drive. We're going to hold it here in 5. Last 3, 2, holding and breathing, low plank or resting that hip down. Keep it going. Holding and breathing. Left forearm down. You can also bring your left knee and left wrist down. All right, we're adding those hip lift and lower if your left hip is down. We're adding those hip dips and lifts if your hip is lifted. And 2, and 1, here we go. Adding in those hips, focusing on those obliques here. You can keep your right elbow wide. You can reach your arm up towards the ceiling. You can leave your hand down by your hip. Anything that helps you continue with these movements. You're halfway there. Keep it going. We're adding in that top knee raise, drawing that knee in towards the same shoulder. Here we go. Still going, still moving. You're 10 seconds down. We're going to switch sides. So the exact same 3 positions built on. 10 seconds to go on the left side. That's it, last 2. All right, quickly switch sides. So coming on to your right hip and right forearm, maybe your right wrist, your right knee if you'd like, and we're just holding side plank on the right side. If you also want to hold a high side plank, that's fine. You want to give those wrists a little bit of a break, come down to your forearms. You can also release that hip down. Most important thing, you're really focusing on drawing that navel in towards your spine. You got 10 more seconds here. By keeping that hip down, you can really focus on your core and on your breaths. All right, give me those hip dips and lifts, or lift and dip. Keep it going. So if your hips are lifted, you're dipping them down towards the floor. If they're on the floor, you're lifting them up. You can bend your knees if your hips are predominantly on the floor for this movement. Left arm up towards the ceiling or elbow bent wide behind your head. Keep it going. That's it. All right, add that top knee drive. Here we go. Still going, 15 seconds. Last 5. All right, right back to the top, holding that side plank. This is round 2. If your hip is down, I want you to focus on your breathing, breathing in and out through your nose, building that heat within your body, drawing your navel into your spine, it up to the crown of your head. So don't just hold your breath. Please don't ever just hold your breath. Focus on your breath, deep inhales, deep exhales. You can also do the same thing if your hips are lifted. We're adding in those dips or lifts here. Here we go. 30 seconds. Part 2. Lift and lower. That's it. Staying with it. I love it, Keshwar. You can also be standing, crunching down, rise up, crunching down. When we add that knee drive, you can crunch and knee, crunch and knee. Great variation for standing. All right, give me that knee drive now, whether you're standing or on the floor. If you're on the floor, drive that knee up. The top knee comes up. Still going, still breathing. You've got it. Last 10. And then we've got our third round, and then we are moving on. So close. You got 3, 2, and 1. All right, catch your breath. Going right back into it, holding that side plank. You can also be standing and just drawing that right leg out. Focusing here on your balance. Keeping that core engaged. You've got it. 10 more seconds to go, and we're going to add in those hip dips, or if you're standing, crunching down to the right. All right, give me those dips. Dips or side crunches. Got it. Still going. We're adding in those knee drives. Top knee drives coming up in 10. Continuing with those dips. Dip and a knee drive. You've got it. Last 3, 2. Keep it going. Add that knee drive. Give me that dip or that side crunch and a knee drive. Keep it going. All right, next up, we're going to be on our back, toes up towards the ceiling for a right leg drop. If you're standing, you're just going to give me a right knee drive. Last 5, 3, 2. All right, so if you're standing, reach your arms up high overhead. I want you to give me a flex foot, right knee drive. If you're on the floor, zip your legs up towards the ceiling, elbows are wide, shoulders lifted, right leg lowers and lifts. Keep your shoulders hovering. We're going to switch legs at that 30-second mark. The third move, we're going to alternate. So if you're on your back, we're going to switch that left leg drop, right leg is up towards the ceiling. If you're standing, that right leg is going to be your base. You're going to draw that left knee up towards your chest, continuing to reach your arms up high overhead. For that third 30 seconds, we're alternating right and left. All right, left side, lower and lift. So for that third 30 seconds, the last bit of 30 seconds here, if you're on your back, we're going to alternate. If you're standing, I want you to give me a reach down, so wide arm reach down and pull with an alternating knee drive. That's 4, 3, 2. So if you're standing, reach and pull. If you're on your back, just alternating, leg lift and lower, just like wide scissor legs. One leg is up, one leg is down. 20 seconds to go. And we're going to start all the way from the top. We're going to start on the left side. That's it. If you're standing, give me those wide arm reach downs. The first 2 moves are arms stay up high overhead. Flex the feet. Last 2 and 1. Here we go. If you're standing, left knee drive. Maybe just gently tapping that foot to the floor. Drawing it right back up, keeping your arms overhead. If you're on your back, keep that right leg up towards the ceiling and just your left leg lowers and lifts. You can, of course, relax your head flat on the floor, just gazing up towards the ceiling. You want to add more heat to your lower core. Lift your chest, lift your shoulders, gazing down towards your navel. All right, switch sides, switch legs, right leg. Lower and lift if you're on your back. Right knee drive if you're standing. Keep those arms overhead if you're standing. Elbows are wide, shoulders lifted or on the floor if you're laying on your back. We're going to alternate here. You've got 10 more seconds. Right knee drive or right leg, lower and lift. All right, give me that wide pull down if you're standing, alternating. Leg raise, Leg lower if you're on your back. That's it. 20 seconds to go. We got one more round of this. You got it. Just 90 seconds of work remaining. You've worked so hard. Don't stop now. Exhale as you lower or draw that knee up. All right, coming back to that right knee drive or right leg lower and lift. Keep it going. Elbows are wide. That's it. If you're standing, keep those arms overhead. Leg lower and lift. You've got 7. We're switching sides to that left leg. Raise and lower or knee drive if you're standing, switch sides. Woo. All right, less than 1 minute of work. You've got this. Keep it going. 15 seconds to go. If you're on the floor, draw your navel into your spine, down into that floor. Really seal your lower back in that floor. If you're standing, draw your navel into your spine, up to the crown of your head. We're switching sides, alternating right to left to right, and 2, and 1. Here we go. If you're staying, give me that wide arm pull down with the knee drive. Continue to flex your foot as you lift your knee up towards the same shoulder. Reaching for the shoulder. You've got it. Maybe drawing that knee up towards your hip, maybe past your hip. You've got it. Keep it going. So strong. You've got 7. That's 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, shake it out. Come on to standing slowly. You're on the floor. Draw those arms up in a circle and back. From here, widen your stance. Cross your right arm over the left. Gently pulling your right forearm into your left shoulder. Open and switch. Left arm across your body. Open, draw your right elbow wide behind your head, keeping your chin and chest lifted. Open, circle out your wrists, switch sides. Left elbow wide. Relax your arms down, circle out your wrist. Fold forward over your right leg. You can keep your body at half with your back flat. You're also welcome to fold forward over your right leg. You can come completely down, bringing your nose toward your knee. Feeling that stretch along the back side of your thighs. If you're doing halfway, you can place your hands on your thighs or your calves. Please just avoid your knees. Hold it here for a breath. Walk your hands through center and space or on the floor over to the left side. Feeling that stretch all along the left side leg and back side of your left leg. Again, you can hold yourself at half, keeping your head above your heart. You can also bring your hands down to the floor, your thigh, your calf, or your ankle, or gently fold all the way down. Gently rise up halfway. Walk your hands through center. Bend and extend your knees, keeping your chest lifted. You can place your hands on your thighs. 2 more. On the next one, hold the knees bent. Chest is lifted. Open up your chest. Draw your shoulder blades back. Relax your shoulders down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, twist, looking over your right shoulder. Gently come back through center, fold forward. Slowly and controlled, roll up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll your shoulders back. Roll them forward. Nice big inhale. And let's do 1 more for good luck. Fantastic work. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I hope you